Hello gamers, Matt Lemke here with your gamer goggles, gamer-goggles.com, and today, Wargame Wanderings, we will talk about X-Wing 2nd Edition and some of my concerns, and then Wild West Exodus, my assembly of Wild West Exodus to be specific, and what I think of the models. I haven't played the game yet, so come back for that. I'll be right back. Alright, so X-Wing 2nd Edition. At Origins, I had a chance to film a game demo, so if you guys got to see that and watched it and liked it and did all that cool stuff, I thank you. This is a different type of show. I don't assemble anything here. I just talk about my experiences, my projects, things I want to accomplish, and basically I get inspired by you guys. So please comment below, ask me questions, because I don't know everything, and I want to. I don't know if that was good or bad, but I want to. I want to know more. That's for sure. Okay, so first off, X-Wing 2nd Edition. I will be doing part of the in-flight report with Fantasy Flight Games, or participating in, I should say. I'm not doing it. I have no inside knowledge at all, other than things that have been released. After watching the demo at Origins, if you haven't seen it, maybe I'll remember to get a link there tonight, but I'm driving 5 hours, so no hopes up. Just search my channel for X-Wing at Origins. So it was part of my Origins Game Fair coverage, and well, they put a lot of my fears to rest, so I really don't have a lot of fears left. But recently, I don't know how recent they actually released it, but somebody posted it in our local game store's Facebook page that the points are up. And I took a look at the points. Everything seems to be a lot more expensive. Everything across the board. I mean, Millennium Falcons are like almost 100 points now. TIE Fighters, I don't think there was one under 24 points. And I'm like, so the idea of the Swarm Army seems to be gone. And I am not... That doesn't hurt me that much, because I never actually got to play a Swarm Army, but I really, really wanted to. So I'm curious, and maybe you guys already know this. I noticed that the rules are up to read, and I did not get to read them yet. So maybe the point costs of the game are changing too. So maybe the standard game is no longer 150 points. But my concern is that they're totally, by doing the point costs the way they are, is that maybe they're eliminating some things that should have potential in the game. Like, I mean, if you watch Star Wars, you see 3, 4, 5 TIE fighters hunting like wolves to separate an X-Wing from the rest of the rebels, or the Rebel Alliance, or whichever faction you happen to be fighting them in. That's part of their mentality. That's what they do. The clones stick together and they stay in formation and they fly around and they blow things up together. And I was really looking forward to getting a chance to do that, and I'm not sure I'm going to anymore. So that's the big thing there. And I'll post something Wednesday night after the in-flight report too, after I've learned more stuff, because, like I said, everything I've seen so far seems to be a step forward for the game. It seems like it's better. Now, some of the things I think were not necessary. Like the X-Wings, they don't need to open and close. I get why they do it. I'm curious as to whether or not how they're going to affect tournament play. So if you have them open and you don't flip the card, are you going to be responsible for what the card says or the positioning of the X-Wing? You know, and it's things like that that I'm curious to see how they're going to develop and mature. Now, with that said, I'm not a big tournament player anymore for pretty much any game, because I do so much, reviewing and blogging, and I don't have the time. But when I judged Magic the Gathering, things like that would occur, and that's how rulings developed and matured within the sport. is, well, this is the way it's been being done, and now you have to do this. Or because, tokens matured the way they matured, now you use squirrels or whatever. And I understand that now you have to use you have to use pads for life. And it wouldn't surprise me if in time, at the professional events, they're going to have some kind of app that records life. But anyway, that's off track. So, with that said, let's move to Wild West Exodus. I have been trying for a couple years to get into Wild West Exodus. And I have to thank the guys at War Cradle for giving me the opportunity to grab a starter. If you haven't watched the unboxing, you're going to kind of see it again here. So in the unboxing, you get the rulebook, the complete rulebook, I believe, the little version of it, which is pretty rad. I love little books like this. You get all the bases you need. You get all the cards for the lawman. I'm not going to go in detail on all that. You get the playing cards. You get your template, which is rounded for your base to lay in front of your base, which is pretty slick. You get a cardboard ruler, a set of dice, and your action cards, which we'll get into all that. Probably after Gen Con I'll be able to do more with it. I'm going to try and grab a demo on Friday or Saturday with the guys at their booth. So, this is a starter set. And with that being said, with the trend of modern starters, like if you look at Cool Mini or Not starters, they're super easy to put together. If you go watch my videos on the Path to Glory starter for, I think that one's Wrath of Kings, I don't remember the names, for the Wrath of Kings starters and the Dark Age starters, I put together like both armies in total 25 minutes. You cannot do that with the Wild West Exodus starters. And there's some good reasons for that. So we're going to try and show you some of these guys. This guy's knelt down, right? He's going to be a bear for me to paint now because you can see where his guns are, right? And they kind of had to do some things. There were the first thing when I was putting it together, when I was cutting it apart. Oh, that's the other thing I should note. In the box, it comes with a smart code that says "Go here to assemble your minis." It doesn't work. That's something I'm going to address at Gen Con, if providing I remember. So. It doesn't work, but you can just type in Wild West Assembly in your Google or in your browser, whatever browser you use, and it'll bring up resources for Wild West Exodus. And they have resources for them all. The online resources are pretty good, but an assembly video would still be very helpful. And I'm sorry I didn't do that. I did that for these guys, and they were not as hard to put together as I thought they were going to be, the little dogs. Well, two of the dogs. There's still 2 dogs left I haven't finished yet. But the gun dogs, the first one, which was this guy, he had a little bit more pieces, and he took me 18 minutes. 18 minutes and 5 seconds. I did record these, but I'm going to have to do a voiceover on them because my mic cable died. Apparently just before, probably my cat was chewing on it is what happened. And this guy took me 12 minutes. The bikes actually took me 2 days. Not because they were, there are a lot of pieces, and this bike, in my opinion, went together better than this one. This one took longer, and it actually has less pieces, but there's more pieces and parts to hold as you're assembling. This one, took me 2 days because the main body wasn't holding together that way. Well, so I twisty tied it together as a clamp, and I just let it dry overnight, and then I pretty much finished it. But there are a good bit of pieces on these guys, and their heads are what I want to warn new players about. They're in 2 or 3 pieces, which might frustrate new players. I want you to know that going in. If you come in and you use the assembly guide, it tells you exactly what pieces to cut off for what model. Just do one model at a time, and you'll be fine. Or cut the models off and then put them into a Ziploc bag and move to the next model, because it does help if you assemble them all at the same time and keep them together on their own little like stations for dry time, because you don't necessarily want to take oh, he's missing a piece. I gotta go find that piece. Shoot, he's missing 2 pieces. Well, I didn't pay enough attention when I was assembling these guys. And Mr. James here is missing 2 pieces on his legs. He's missing his holsters. And I don't think I threw the sprues out, so I think I'm in good shape on that. But he's about 12 pieces, 14 pieces, which isn't a lot for a model. But he's tiny and hard to hold together at times. So I suggest gluing 1 piece on and then moving to the next model. The models are super detailed, and because I put them together first, I'm actually not looking forward to painting them. I do want to paint them up, but getting the paintbrush in some of these spots is not going to be easy. You definitely want to paint these in stages. You want to pull your model off, or be able to take your model off, and then glue them on when you're done painting. The other thing that you might want to consider is magnets for the different weapons on the bikes and on the dogs. I don't do magnets anymore. I mean, I can, if you guys really want me to, I can do magnets, but for the stuff that I'm probably going to demo or use it at conventions to teach people how to play games, I don't use magnets anymore, because I did that with heavy gear, and almost all my heavy gear weapons are gone. And yeah, I know that's a shame. I don't necessarily think they were stolen, but I think people were careless with them, and they ended up on the floor, got swept up at night. Other volunteers didn't take the same kind of care for them that I would, because they weren't theirs, they're mine. You know, it just makes sense, right? But that was my experience with the Wild West Exodus set. I am super looking forward to, well, basing these guys, because I got some Wild West stuff that I'm dying to do. Ever since I saw James Wapple painting these guys, I think back in either 2014 or 15, I have wanted to get my hands on these guys. And actually, the ones I want the most, I think, are the Watchers, the aliens. I'm so happy that they exist in a miniatures game. I'll probably donate them to my brother, because he's a huge alien collector. He's got like 500 alien heads. But yeah, so if you're a beginner, I would say that this is a little bit harder than some of the other stuff that you might be used to. If you've played 40K, if you've played any games similar to 40K that have some assembly, these are not going to be an issue at all. Learn to use tweezers, because, well, if you're like me, your stubs are thick, right? Anyway, I'm looking forward to playing. I'll have more information for you guys in a couple of days. Check out all my Gen Con footage. Talk to you later. Hi guys, meet the Nibbles, who's gonna go down. She just decided not to go down my back, so we'll do this for her so she's comfy. Thanks for watching my video, and I appreciate it. Please hit the like button, and share it if you know somebody who might be interested. And of course, there's always Twitter and the Facebook thingy, and soon I have a newsletter coming. That'll be down there or in a link below, and my kitty cat loves that idea. So anyway, there was one more thing. Oh yeah, subscribe. Be a part of my community, our community. Let's make it grow together. See you guys at a con somewhere, or a local store, or if I'm driving through the country, maybe a game club. I don't know, you're not going to go knock down my camera. Bye guys.